everybody. My name is Cian Cuemo, and today I'm going to talk to you about Uninet. Now, Uninet is a business that I started my freshman year of college, and I'm going to talk to you some about what I learned throughout the process, what Uninet really is, some mishaps we went, and just talk to you about the journey of the business of Uninet, which is a network built for students by students, as myself. So first, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my team. I was the chief executive officer, the CEO of the company. And when you build a business, you really want to have a strong team that have the diverse sets of background and skills and learning experiences, because those diversity in your team really brings out the best and makes your team very strong. So there was 8 people on the team in total. All have various departments. The first one was he built the website. It was a coding, and it's really good to kind of have diverse skills. So one was able to build the website, one was able to kind of like do the marketing, one was able to make sure we had good financial projections for the team. One had to make sure the HR person make sure everything, human resources was doing good, and kind of the team dynamic was up to par to really have a good atmosphere to really project the business forward. So that's a little bit about my team, me and my team. Now, what is Uninet? What is it essentially? So our mission was to make it easier for students to share services, provide a way for students to get an income, increase student commerce. So one thing about college is that we all kind of need money, right? So our thinking in building this business was really creating a platform for students at Babson, which is my college, to really have a medium of exchange of goods and services. Because one, it would kind of increase interaction among students, provide relationships, and also really a good way to create money and provide a medium for students at Babson. Uninet. And so it was really an online platform built for students, again, as I stated, and students will be able to list services and items that were like in the marketplace. And this will provide a fluid environment for constructive student interaction. So one thing when you create a business is you really want to do research, right? You want to do surveys, you want to find critical insights into exactly how you should price your business. So one thing we did was we conducted a survey, and we did qualitative and quantitative findings. So qualitative is basically finding what drives students as far as what drives students to list their services onto our platform. And the quantitative finding is everything that's numbers driven in terms of like the price structure, how many students are able to be on our platform, and just some of the numeric values into our findings. So once we conducted a survey, we found that most students, they will pay at least 50 cents per listing a fee. So the way our website will work is that in order to list a fee, in order to like list a service, there will be a listing fee, right? For example, if you go on your iPhone or Android phones, you can pay for apps. There's free apps with also in-app purchases, and there's also apps that you pay for. So basically how our website will work is that it will be a free website, but in order to actually like list a service you want done or to be done unto, you will pay 50 cents for that service essentially. So now we have to look into our target market. So our target market was Babson students specifically, undergraduate students and faculty, and male and females, of course. So a target market basically is who is your business targeted to, right? Who are you going to be your customers? Who is your audience? When you create a business or you formulate your own entrepreneurship venture, you want to make sure there's a clear target market, because those are the customers you will be selling your services or products to. So in my regards, our target market was college students in my year, which consists of freshmen, students, sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and also faculty at the college, and also male and female. So what we did is, now that we know our target market, we had to break down market into different segments. So market segments are actually a subset of your target market into how you want to individually market to those different segmentation. So we found out that and for males, 52% will be willing to use our service, and 46% will be willing to use our services in terms of female. And we also broke that down by 2 class years. Now that we have a target market, it's important to find out market size, right? So how big is your market? So market size is basically means that essentially how big is your audience? Is it a niche market, and meaning that is it like a small audience, or is it like a big wide market? For example, like Amazon, people from all age group, people from all over the world use Amazon. So which means that they have a big market size. Whereas if you think about something like Uber, it's a market size that is relatively small to Uber, right? Because in Uber, if you want to do Uber, you need to have a car, you need to have a driver's license, you need to have all these different qualifications. So the much more restriction that there is, the smaller the market size is. So once we did our market size calculation, we found out that 23.1% said they're very likely going to use our services. And we did a survey consisting of 594 people, right? So that was kind of like our market size essentially. And based on that number, we're able to really kind of break down into the size calculations that we want for our business. Now it's marketing strategy. So how do customers, or potential clients find out about you? So once we did our research, we found out that Facebook was kind of like the best platform for our demographic in terms of kind of like users on a day-to-day basis, right? So this is like, where is the best platform for you to best attract your own market size, right? So we found that college students use Facebook a lot, right? Because they want to connect with different people, they want to find friends, they want to hang out, and Facebook is a great platform to really generate ad space so people can kind of find out about us and use our own product and services essentially. And we also found out like flyers would be a good way, social media, posters, and also just do organic word of mouth. So these are different marketing components that we kind of utilized to make sure that people know about what we provide to the students in the marketplace. So this is kind of how the website looked like. So this is kind of like how the user interface looks like for the website. So it's called Uninet, as you can see. So we want that brand recognition, right? So we put that at the top in bold letters with a handshake and a dollar in between to really show that, it was an interactive process and it was like an exchange of some type of product or service. And the website was built in 2 components. So one was the service side, and you can do offers and you can also do demands, right? So you can offer, for example, I'll offer you X amount of dollars for you to do my laundry, right? In college, that's big because you want to find kind of like revenue some way. You can do kind of like different offers, or you can do demands, which means that I demand you need this type of service, right? So I will do this for you. So it's kind of like I can offer you a service or I can demand a service. And on the product component, you can buy, sell, trade, or rent. Something we found out is that when people are in college and they might, for example, transfer to a different institution, they might study abroad, or they might graduate, they have tons of stuff that they leave behind, right? They have furnitures, they have TVs, they have lamps, they have all these different cards, even cards, right? They have all these different type of products, and what happens to that? So our platform was really to mitigate kind of like those interactions and really already have an audience for people to really buy, sell, trade, or rent their different items and products. And people will be able to log in using their babson.edu account. So at each college, they have like their own kind of email. So people will be able to like log in. This was to ensure safety, to make sure that everybody that uses our platform essentially is from Babson. So this was a great way to really create kind of like that safety net and really create a community of students that goes to Babson. So now it's important that we make a profit, right? Because you want to have a good business where you're actually financially afloat. You don't want to kind of like sink at the bottom. So it's good to kind of make pro forma projections. So first, we have the initial startup venture, right? So we estimate that to be $400. And then our first monthly hosting will be $25. So since our company was essentially a website, we didn't really have a lot of cost. So everything we really had to pay for was maintaining a website and buying a domain name. And we expect that to be $25. So 400 plus 25 is 425, which is the total identifiable cost of the business. Now, it's important to have contingencies, right? Because contingencies basically are like costs that might occur that we really weren't expecting, right? So it's kind of like the little chunk of change that just in case something happens, and we allocate that 20%. So 20% of 425 is $85. So now, which is our total startup cost, essentially would be $510 because 425 plus 85 is $510. So we expected our total startup cost to actually create this business, the Uninet, to be $510. So this is kind of like our financial projections. As you can see, our revenue, we started out with $100, which was an easy number to recalculate. And now we have cost of goods sold. So basically cost of goods sold is like, how much does it cost? What is the cost of the business, essentially, right? So for example, if I buy, let's say, this pen, right? I have a pen in my hand. I bought this pen for $7, right? I bought this pen for $7. Now, what I want to do is, right, I want to sell this pen now. I bought this pen for $7. Now I want to sell this pen. I will sell this, in order for me to make a profit, I will sell this pen for more than $7, right? So I can make a profit essentially. So I'm going to sell this pen for $10. Now what I just did is I bought the pen for $7 and I'm selling it for $10. So my revenue is $10, right? But my profit will be $3 because it was $7 that I bought the pen for. So the $7 is what is called the cost of goods sold. So basically it is the actual amount that you paid the pen for. And now that I'm reselling the pen for $10, the $3 is the profit that essentially I made. And we call that the gross margin. So my gross margin will be essentially $3. But in this case, it will still be $100 because I didn't have to pay anything. So you'll notice that the cost of goods sold is zero all throughout because we didn't have a product. Essentially, when you do a service, you don't necessarily have a cost of goods sold because you have nothing to sell physically. So because we were a service, there was kind of like this invisible kind of like barrier. That's why our cost of goods sold was zero. And now you have the operating expenses. And then you have the website. So this thing we call variable cost and fixed cost. So variable cost changes based on the amount of production you're able to do. But a fixed cost stays constant all throughout. So because we're a website, the cost of the website every monthly was $8. So as you can see on a website, every month it will cost $8. So we take out the $8 from the 100. And the marketing, the Facebook ad service that you're going to run, which was the best way for our marketing, was $10. So we subtract the 100, so we have $100, which is our revenue. We subtract $8 and $10, and we get 82 for the net income for the first week. That's kind of the same concept we apply that through each week and weekly basis. Now, it's important that any business that you do is there'll be risks involved, right? Because the greater risk, probably the greater profit. And we understand that by doing this business, we will have multiple risks, right? You have the financial risk, where you recuperate the money that you made. We had also risk as far as like customer safety and protection. How do we ensure that there's a mutual interaction between our user bases on the front end and the back end? And also vendor reliability, right? Because the way we kind of make money was we would generate ads from outside companies to host on our website, right? So like when you go on websites, you see like all these different ads that really creates traffic, that creates revenue. So how will we be able to really know the availability of those vendors and also make sure that everything is kind of up to par? That concludes my presentation about the business. Thank you so much once again for listening to the presentation. I hope that you enjoyed it. And once again, my name is Cienzi Cuemo. And feel free to reach out to me by email if you have any questions, any more clarification, which is all listed on the upper right-hand corner. Thank you so much and have a great and productive day.